Welcome to the car crash.
Yes, I want to hide that. Welcome to the shit show that is the shit show. Hopefully, we'll have this shit figured out. I doubt it, but hopefully, we will. So, some interesting shit has happened.
Yep, another week. Who fed it? Who ate it? I wonder.
Yeah, no doubt, right? So, first, I want to start off before we get into the negativity of that is going to come from this. Well, I find it hilarious. Like, it is absolutely asinine what we're going to talk about. The big I guess subject will be. But so this weekend we I say we pal as another simple solution played the Tabor Titans charity show on Saturday, and it was an absolute blast. It was a lot of fun. I look forward to playing it again. It was awesome. So and a great cause. I ended up winning a one of the prizes. They had like an entry, man, pay, blah, blah, blah. So I won something. So it was good. It was a lot of fun. And yeah, thank you to Spider Entertainment for having me in the band play. And yeah, I hope everyone that was there enjoyed the show. So,
and whoever took that picture that you are now using as your new profile picture, great.
That was my wife.
Excellent picture.
That was just on an iPhone. So yeah.
So yeah, it looks good. I like the color.
Sweet. Yeah. So let's talk about some other shit. Let me get this out of the way first. Okay, so I noticed this. I like these. I made the mistake, I guess, if you will, of clicking like it was like like heart, smile, frowny face to what you like. Okay, so now I'm on all these stupid things for like asking your opinion, what you think about different things, right? So this one popped up, and I'm like, and then I like this stuff, so I want to bring this picture up. Okay, that was the question. Okay, like you coding according or the right emoji for whatever mask you like, right? Now, can you pick out what my problem would be out of the masks? And it's such a minor problem, but it bugs the fuck out of me.
I have to assume it's something to do with the Michael Myers mask.
Absolutely not.
Okay, because the ghost face looks okay. Junior looks like Junior.
Junior, yep.
The Jason Voorhees, that is pre-part 4.
I actually think you're mistaken because I think that is actually the mask from number 5 with the blue marks under the eyes.
Oh, yes. Okay.
That is my problem with this.
Gotcha.
Because, like, whenever you ask if you were to point up a Jason mask, I mean, my Jason thing, I think, is up in my office right now. But it's been kind of, most people with Jason are kind of like, meh, 5 was just that, right? It was meh. And it's like, of all the masks, that's the one you chose. Like, that, and again, it's such a minor, like, oh my God, I don't like it. But it was just like, pick a better mask. The Michael one was from the newer ones, and I still think it looked okay. And yeah, Junior was Junior, Ghostface is Ghostface. Like, you can't really change Ghostface face at all. But yeah, those are my one little thing was that just they used the mask from 5. I just wish they would have used the mask from one of the different ones. So
yes, okay, I gotcha.
Again, that's again, I guess you got a first world bitch, if you will. That's it. Like, I mean, it is a small bitch, but a bitch nonetheless. So
yeah, true.
But, yeah. How are things in Vancouver? Still Vancouvery?
Yeah, of course, my mind immediately diverts to the weather. So, not only am I getting old, but I'm getting boring because I'm talking about the weather. And I don't know why that's the first thing that comes to mind when it comes to what's going on in Vancouver. Well, not a lot, but if you look outside, it's kind of overcast. It rains every once in a while, but it's slowly turning warmer, which is great. I love the summer in Vancouver.
So I actually want to, because I want to make sure I'm right about this. I saw this on Mackenzie Speak Out. Apparently, it is supposed to be like +8 in Mackenzie
Whoa, in January.
on Thursday. And I mean, so Ryan's listening. I don't know who else is here right now, but anyone that is from Mackenzie, a +8. Okay, even this +5 on Thursday. Don't tell me there ain't no global fucking warming. +5.
Come on, global warming. It's climate change because we still get extreme temperature shifts with freezing snow and stuff like that.
But really, it's only like 2 days, and they're back down to like -12 and below again. But still, this week is +2 tomorrow, +2 on Wednesday, +5 on Thursday in northern British Columbia. Right? And then they're back to like -12 and cold as balls.
Yeah.
I better
par
delete
for the
that.
course.
Better delete that weather because then I'll look at that and be like, what the fuck? And I'm like, oh, wait a second, that's not us.
Oh,
So-
speaking of which,
Oh, I didn't do that. I left all my change at work.
welcome to Swear Jar ASMR with Alex and the Garbage Man.
You're gonna count me and make me frickin' pay it too.
Yeah,
All
I didn't
right.
break the seal this time.
I sure did. Broke it hard. Now, is there anything else we'd like to discuss before we get to the crux of the conversation? That'll take up probably a little while.
Yeah. So I discovered recently this thing called histamine. Now, I don't think it's something that you learn about when you learn about, protein and carbs and fats and vitamin A through K and fiber and sugar and that kind of thing. For me, and of course I'm going to relate this directly to me because I won't say that it was going to kill me, but I will say that it affected me very negatively in terms of health. So for at least the past 3 years, I would drink 2 cups, that is 2 cups of chicken bone broth, either every day or every night. Now, the problem with my body reacting to that is that for whatever reason, it would release histamine in order to deal with that chicken bone broth. And what started happening in the past few months is that I would be losing sleep. I would go to bed and my heart rate would be elevated, and I would toss and turn, and I would wake up in the middle of the night, and my quality of sleep was trash, and I had brain fog, and I just felt like I was passing through life. I wasn't really present. I was there, but I wasn't exactly there. My consciousness was not 100%. So I decided that, well, I've got to start eliminating foods and find out what the problem is. And I looked up on the internet the silliest thing. Is chicken bone broth bad? Well, yes, particularly because of histamine. If you got too much histamine in your system, it's going to cause some of the things that I just described exactly. Elevated heart rate, problems sleeping. I don't know if arrhythmia was in there, but perhaps. So once I stopped drinking the bone broth, those problems went away within a few days. So now my sleep is better than it was. I'm present, I'm awake, I'm alert. I find that I don't have to drink coffee every day. So my blood pressure might go down a little bit. So lesson learned, fair warning, anything that seems healthy or is touted as healthy, take with multiple grains of salt. And as I've said before, and I have said for other people to do, even though I didn't, do your research. So maybe once or twice have a cup, but not to the extent of 2 cups every day. Yeah.
Interesting. I think a lot of people fall into that trap, and myself included, not to read labels properly. I've gotten a lot better. For example, like today, including the meals that I've eaten with, I used to go with cheese and meat for my lunches every day.
Mm.
It just seems to keep my blood sugar good, and it's lots of protein and some dairy. Though it is block cheese, I realize that. But this week I decided to go with a bun, with turkey and old cheddar on it, and my blood didn't spike over 10. So that's showing that, like, yeah, when you start really paying attention to like the stuff that you eat, it makes a big difference in your diet. And I, knock on wood, when Kim and Colin got really sick last week or 2 weeks ago, I got nothing. And again, I'm not the pillar of health. I will not admit that, but I think that little bit of a dietary change and eating better and sleeping. Oh, and you're so right, Alex, with sleep. Mine was to get a new bed. I was really putting it off, and I was at the point I was taking quite a few like sleeping pills to try to sleep, and the problem wasn't going to sleep; it was staying asleep. That I'd wake up at like 2 a.m, and I mean like wide awake, and like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Right? Like, what? That's a penny or a quarter or nickel, whatever we're doing. But yeah, we bought a new mattress, and my sleep has been like 100 times better. And I know you don't like the exaggeration, but I'd say 100 times. Like, even last night, I woke up I usually have to get up once in a night to go pee. I just have to. But this last night, nothing. Slept right through the night.
Excellent.
So we'll woke up about 4:30. I was like, oh, I still got like an hour and 15 because I get up at 5:45. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with getting up like the hour, like waking up an hour beforehand, because I can go back to sleep. The worst is when you wake up like 2 minutes for your alarm and you're like, oh, fuzzy butt. No, right? Like, that's the worst.
I prefer that, as a matter of fact, because being woken up out of a deep sleep by a loud noise is definitely not great psychologically. And for a long time, for years and years, for whatever reason, now, again, maybe this has to do with food, I would wake up 2, 5, maybe 10 minutes before my alarm. I have no idea why. Maybe I can't say that it has to do with training my brain in a certain way, because there are no clocks around me, so I don't know what time it is. Maybe it's a spatial awareness thing or a psychic thing. I have no idea.
I have to have a clock near me. Because I will, if I wake up and like I like to roll over and check the time. If I don't, I'll stick. Okay, what time is it? How much time do I have? I got to know what time it is. And yes, get your prostate checked.
I did.
You're exactly right, Bruce. That is very important. And women, you need to get your, if I say it wrong, like mammograms and stuff, right? And I mean, it's a part of life. It's part of getting old, and it's what we have to do to take care of ourselves. So.
Yeah. Sage advice from an old man right there. He's probably speaking from experience.
Yeah, you have to do that stuff. So take care of yourself. But when I went on a tangent there was, you'll get people who like, oh, I'm going to eat a granola bar. But they're not eating the right granola bar. They're still eating like a granola bar that's full of sugar, and like, it's okay. You think you're eating better, but it's really not. Right. So that's a big thing. Like, I've really forced myself, and I said this to Kim, was the wife, is she's like, well, we're gonna have broccoli this week. Like, we're gonna have broccoli, and I'm like, whatever. I don't care. She's like, well, you don't care about your vegetables. So I'll be completely blunt with you. I don't like vegetables, but I know I have to eat them.
You got to eat them because you need that fiber.
So the first thing that I do, before I take anything else, is I take a plate full of vegetables. Before I take any proteins, anything. We have like tonight, Kim made rice. I didn't have any rice. I just had carrots and pork chops. That's what I had.
Good.
And and that is on me, to be responsible, not to eat that, to have some better self-control. And then Cohen was making his dinner or his lunch for tomorrow, and he found Kim's chocolate cookie stash. So I had to have 2 of those, but nonetheless. Hey, I went to the gym for an hour and 10 minutes tonight. I can have 2 chocolate chip cookies.
All right, as long as it doesn't spike your blood sugar too much.
Actually, we'll see. I'm actually curious to see. The other day, so I haven't had Dairy Queen in Oh, for a very long time. I'm not going to exaggerate. It has been a long time because it's really not great on my guts. And of course, it's sugar.
Yeah.
And this was last week. It's probably been 6 months, 7 months. And for a fat guy who has an ice cream obsession, that's pretty good. So I was like, oh, let's go get. Do you want to go get an ice cream? Kim was like, yeah. So we go get an ice cream, and I ended up getting a large Oreo Blizzard. I was gonna get a medium, but Kim's like, oh, well, just get a large. Treat yourself. And I'm like, okay, but when I'm gassy and blowing out the bedroom, you can't complain, right? And my blood sugar didn't spike that bad. It went up to about 15, but within 2 hours was back down to normal. So that's really good.
Yeah.
So that just shows like eating right is keeping my blood and everything's moving good. And of course, I do take some medication. I'm not on insulin, but I do take medication to help with my blood sugar. So
Yeah, you're not on insulin yet.
Oh, I will be. I harbor no delusions. Used to drive my uncle C nuts when people would say, "Oh, I'm borderline diabetic," and he's like, "No, you're diabetic or you're not. There's no borderline diabetic. Like you're diabetic or you're not." You know, and I think that was a big. He feels that was a big issue with a lot of people. Why people became diabetics and on insulin because they go, "Oh, I'm just borderline. I just got to watch what I eat." Well, you didn't watch what you eat properly because if they just would have told you were diabetic, maybe you would have took it a little more serious, but you didn't.
Yeah.
Right. So, yeah.
Well, what I started doing recently, and this was just a blurb that I read somewhere on the internet, and I didn't take it to heart until recently. Well, more of an experimentation than anything else. With regards to food digestion, apparently carbs, vegetables, fruits, that kind of thing, those digest the fastest. Therefore, you should eat those first. And then protein, and then fat. Fat, because it's so dense, takes longer to break down and digest. So I started doing that recently. And I found way less gas and when way better digestion. I think I had said last year that what I would do is eat a large meal and then lie down, particularly on the left side. Well, I've stopped doing that and I feel way better. What I do is, again, I'll eat the way I just described. And then once I'm done, pardon me, when I'm eating, I make sure both feet are flat on the floor. And because my chair, I can recline in it, I'll recline a good few degrees and just relax and eat. Again, hugely important to take your time when you're eating so that you taste the food, you chew it properly, take your time, there's no rush. And then when you're done, just sit there. All you need to do is sit and wait. And I usually, after a big meal, I'll sit there for a good 20 minutes, half hour, as long as I can. And I feel great. I don't have to go lie down. I don't feel, well, not dizzy. I don't feel over full.
That's a very important thing that people also need to think about and forget that we were taught as kids. And I'm sure Bruce and Pat did this to you, was clean your plate. And I say that and you kind of smile because maybe mom and dad said that to you, but my parents did. But that was the thing. Sometimes they gave you too much food. If you were legitimately full, overfeeding yourself is not good.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I learned that from Ethan Suplee. And and that's what he said. He's like, as a kid, he was told, clean your plate. Don't leave food on your plate. Well, no, if you took too much food, don't eat the food.
Yeah, stretching the lining of the stomach by overeating, not a good idea.
No, not at all. So, yeah. But, yeah, I love working out. I had a really good workout tonight.
Same here.
I love it.
Especially after getting a good night's sleep and the prep for the gym, which for me involves a small meal. I don't drink protein shakes anymore before the gym. It's always after. I always get nutrition from real food, and I don't eat a big meal because I don't want to be sluggish in the gym. But preparing everything, eating, then having the old coffee and off to the gym. Now the coffee is important because I didn't have coffee at all on the weekend. So my tolerance for caffeine, I think, went down just a few notches. So then when I had it and I went to the gym, I had that much more energy because my body wasn't used to the caffeine every day.
Yes. And that's, I'm trying to get that, like the kid. So he's now going to be on a regular schedule and he's exhausted tonight.
Hmm.
And I said, your body's going to get used to it. It's going to take some time. But I also said to him, like, going to the gym, it gives me energy. It does. Like, it pumps me up. And I don't know, like, if it's a dopamine or what it is, but I mean, I find I sleep better when I work out. And I love after a good workout. Oh, there's nothing better in the world. Just being soaked in sweat. And you're like, yeah, it feels great. And then I'm
For
not
me,
working out tomorrow. I'm going to get a massage.
good idea. That's very important.
Mm-hmm.
For me, when I'm done in the gym, I don't have a lot of energy because, as a long time ago, Green Bay Packers coach Vince Lombardi said, and I'm not quoting this directly. I'm a big fan of the movie Any Given Sunday from 1999, and
Mm-hmm.
that quote was at the beginning of the movie. Um, I I left it all on the field. Every ounce of energy that I had prepared for the day was left in the gym. So in a way, I left it on the field, and I lay on the field metaphorically victorious.
Mm. Yeah, don't get it twisted. When I get done in the gym, I'm not like doing like, yeah, I can go for laps. I mean, I'm relaxed. Like I always do sit-ups at the end of my workout. Always.
Hmm.
Always do sit-ups.
Yeah.
And I always put mellow music on at the end of my workout. And like once I do my sit-ups, I usually lay there and I stretch. And I just lay and I just like I just let it, you know, um
Wash over you. It's a good
yeah,
cool down.
yeah,
Yeah.
and mellow music. Cool, like just mellow, to bring the heart rate down and to bring the adrenaline
Mm.
down. And
Yeah.
I mean, because that was a Saturday night, I was jacked. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go to the bar. We're gonna go karaoke now. But once I sat, had a beer, and the adrenaline dump left, I was like, I need to go to bed. Like now, I was done.
Yeah.
I was done. So yeah.
And before we continue on to the main topic of the night, I remember when I was a kid and I'd be sitting at the dinner table, mom and dad would be on either side of me, and they said, "You're not going anywhere till you finish what's on your plate." And I can remember one time they had finished, so they left, but I had to stay because my plate was not clean, and I think it was vegetables.
Mm-hmm.
And although I didn't learn the lesson that day, there is at least one or two things to learn about what you put on your plate and your eyes being bigger than your stomach.
Mm-hmm.
And again, not overeating, like you said. They could have been steamed vegetables because steamed vegetables have almost no taste. And
Nothing. Yeah.
the vegetables that I eat in this day and age, I steam them before I eat them, especially carrots and broccoli. Because if
Mm-hmm.
you eat those raw, they're way too tough and texturous. I like
Mm-hmm.
them. I like being able to chew them, not for 30 or 40 minutes like
Yes.
you would do with broccoli. So
Oh.
steam it, then eat it. And I don't add anything to it, just have it as it is. And recently I've began incorporating more wet fruit, pardon me, into my diet as opposed to dry fruit because I can't stand my body can't stand starchy carbs like rice and quinoa and bread and stuff like that. So I got to avoid it. So where do I get my carbs? Dates, raisins, figs. But I think, and like I said, I discovered this recently, wet carbs or wet fruit, peaches, oranges, pineapple. You need that mix as well
Mm.
as the I do. At least I do anyway, and I find it's better for me.
I like a good orange.
Hmm.
Yeah, a pineapple is okay. I'm not a peach person. I don't care for peaches. Um, yeah, I don't mind peach juice. I don't
Mm.
mind. Yeah, I know it's not good, but even like the shit like they have peaches it's like in water, like sugar-free peaches in water. I don't mind that, but I don't to eat a fresh peach is just not my jam at all.
It might be that the skin is so dry, even when you wash it beforehand. When you bite into it, that skin is so leathery. It's like licking paper or something.
Yeah, that could be it. That really could be it.
Yeah.
Hmm. That food for thought.
but they are delicious. I love peaches. I buy them every week now. One a day. That's all I need.
I think I might have to move my camera over to my other screen. I had to turn it sideways. I did legs last week.
Yeah.
And my knee's been bothering me ever since. So I can't sit with my leg. Is that going to stretch over here? I did too. So I can't sit with my leg underneath my desk right now. Oh, maybe it won't fit. Maybe it will fit. Hi.
You should just hold it like that and talk into it.
Oh no, because I'm gonna, and then I'll move over here. Please be patient. Thank you, everybody.
On-air technical difficulties. Please
that's
stand by.
much better because now I can sit and talk. Oh, much better.
Nice. Oh, I like the Jaws poster in the background. Good touch.
I love it. I just found that at Spencer's.
Wow.
Yeah, just at Spencer's. And it's funny. I thought it was rated R, but on the poster it says PG.
That's because kids were tougher back then. Everyone was tougher.
Yeah.
Speaking of Spielberg,
yep.
I watched The Fabelmans yesterday or the day before. I liked it.
What did you think? Did you like it?
I really liked it. Oh, absolutely. It was, although it's a fictionalized account of Spielberg's youth, anyone who wants to know more about Spielberg or just the love that a young person develops with regards to filmmaking, fascinating watch. It's about 2.5 hours long, so not everyone might get out of it what I did, but I thought it was great. And I know Frank from The Harsh Truth, description below, he liked it as well. He thought it was very good.
Okay, so my internet is still shady. We need to figure out more of this fucking dude that got killed by a camel after he punched it. That is being reported by the Toronto Sun right now. Damn. Yeah. I have to get some change in this house.
Where
Camel
did this
kills
happen?
watchman who punched it in the face. I'm trying to scroll without my internet going all internet-y.
Oh, you froze up.
Am I still frozen?
You're moving at 12 frames a second. No, I think he's getting better. 18. Yet now you're back up at the regular.
I just closed it. It's not like
maybe
I got to bring this computer in. But anyways, you know what? Here, I'll look it up on here. I gotta look it on my phone because my Shaw sucks.
Shaw sucks. Shaw revival isn't cool, you stupid. I ain't gonna say it. Awesome. Russian children's camp. Camel bites and tramples worker to death after he hit the animal in the face at Russian children's holiday camp. This is from the Daily Mail. And this was today. Awesome.
Wow. That is awesome.
I love that.
That is
he was a 51-year-old watchman.
Well, watchman is the camel kicks your ass.
Oh, and there's video too. I would love to share the video for the audience, but I played a video for Nick before the show started and it was choppy AF. So I don't want to degrade the wonderful quality of our show by introducing 5 frames per second.
Yeah, that's my job. Don't take my gimmick.
Ooh, some of the trending stories by the Daily Mail. Ghislaine Maxwell expresses regret over her friendship with Epstein. She does not look good.
Okay, so that's not really newsworthy, but continue.
Well, it was newsworthy to those of us who saw pictures of Ghislaine back in the day and thought, maybe I'll let her traffic me. No, I'm kidding. No, that's a terrible thing to say. I'm just saying prison's a hard thing on a person.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah. Probably full of regrets, for fuck's sake. And full of officer nightsticks.
Now, why did he punch the camel in the face? We all want to know. I can't read fast.
It's not going to be as cool like Arnold when Arnold punched the one in Conan.
Yeah. Crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and hear the lamentations of the women.
I love that movie. I really
Yes,
do.
that's great. I haven't seen that in years. I saw that, Jesus, the 80s? Late
Oh
80s,
yeah,
I think.
yeah.
Yeah. I noticed that in this day and age, compared to the 80s, there aren't a lot of really big budget popular action movies like there were then. I'm a lot of the action movies of today, those are mostly direct to video or unknown, I guess, unless they're based on a true story, which is kind of strange. I'm wondering if that's due to a shift in entertainment away from violence as entertainment, because
Yeah, that's
I'm
fair. Yeah.
starting to develop this idea that some people, not all people, think that if there's less violence in media, then our young children and future generations won't grow up seeing that violence and will not become violent themselves, which I myself will dispute right now. And I've said this many a time. I played Doom and Wolfenstein 3D and Spear of Destiny at a young age. I saw many violent movies, including Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street. I didn't see Hellraiser until at least, Jesus, the late 90s. And I haven't killed anyone.
That
Am I
we
the
know
anomaly?
of.
That you know of. Dun, dun,
Dun,
dun.
dun. Right.
Yeah.
So we'll go with that.
Yeah, I'm the anomaly. Everyone
Hmm.
else has killed people.
Everyone else has killed many people.
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
Shout
Should
out
we
to
get
True
to the
Crime Podcast for absolutely no reason whatsoever.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, let's
So
get to
should we get
the
into it
meat.
now? All
Yep,
right.
we
You
shall.
have the article, so if you'd like to, you know,
What?
he
A
is alleged.
list?
Your dad has a kill list. Oh, that's
And yes, I could use that defense. I could say it was all the violent video games and movies I watched as a youth that just built up within my subconscious and it exploded out of me, which is why I killed people. So I'm innocent by reason of insanity and I should be let go. That was part of the plot from the 2001 Robert De Niro movie 15 Minutes with Edward Burns. Great movie. Love that movie.
I don't know if I saw that one.
Oh, you probably didn't, but you should have. It was supposed to be released in the summer of 2000, but they dumped it in March 2001 for some strange reason. It's a good movie. I highly recommend it.
Though it's not the same because they don't blame the movie or they don't blame video games, but because I thought for some reason you were going to say Primal Fear. What a great movie!
Ooh,
Primal,
1996.
what a
Edward
great movie!
Edward Norton, Richard Gere. There you
Yep, great
go.
movie. Yep.
The article I have is what are some Russian Orthodox beliefs. I don't know that I pulled the actual article for the guy. What was his name?
I don't know who the guy was. All I found it was on Twitter from Pink Floyd's site.
Oh, that one. Sorry,
Yeah.
the Pink Floyd Army. The Pink Floyd Army comes for anti-LGBTQ2 fans outraged by new rainbow logo. I'm going to try and share this since it's not a video. We'll see what happens. All right. Am I choppy?
No, I think you're okay.
Okay. So, MSN.com, of course. New, you know what? They put the word rainbow in semi quotes instead of the word new because this is not new. This is the original design for I think Dark Side of the Moon.
Dark Side of the Moon.
Yeah. They're accusing the band of being woke because of the rainbow. Come on, man. Like this album was from 1973. 1973. And if we scroll down, and I'm giving it away, but I can't not. Released in 1973, 5 years before Gilbert Baker created the pride flag. Why? Woke agenda. Come on, man. I love this comment. I heard if you listen to it backwards, you can hear boomers complaining, which is somewhat ironic because boomers were young when this album was released. So
No, you're
why?
choppy a bit.
Okay, I'll stop sharing.
Yep.
Dumb.
But why would boomers be? Why are they freaking out? It's their album.
Exactly.
So and I put on my Facebook. I had said,
Hello, Big Red.
if you're looking for an interesting read, look up the Pink Floyd Dark Side of the Moon 50th album cover and check out the hateful, uneducated so-called Pink Floyd fans that are accusing the band of going woke for using a rainbow on its cover. Facepalm. So my friend of mine, Greg Price, so I'm going to do the voice of Dude. Now, not to be confused with Dude from the Big Lebowski, because that's a cool dude. This is just Dude. Okay, I'm not going to transform into my Dude voice. We've all turned into a bunch of fucking libtards, quarter snowflakes that get offended by everything. Same dude. Oh my God! They turned the Little Mermaid black. Why are they getting rid of Dr. Seuss freaking books? Rainbows. Happy holidays. It's Merry Christmas. My candidate lost the election, but I'm still gonna say, hey, he won. And this piece of cloth on my face, this is just like the freaking Jews in the internment camps. This is my freedom. Same people. Now, I added a little bit of words to Greg's post there, but you get the idea. And my thought was when I saw the album cover was, I just don't like it because I like the prism with the rainbows, like with the rainbow coming out. Like I always liked it. So I'm not understanding why, like of everything in the world to complain, like a woke, like these guys are what, in their 70s now, probably. I'd have to, if I took a wild guess, like they don't need to be woke. They're billionaires. They're Pink Floyd. They don't need to be woke. If that, they just don't. They don't even need. They don't. It's not like they need the backing of any community. They're Pink Floyd.
Yep.
The fans are already built in. They already have their fans. Like, and I saw a guy make a comment about new music. Well, I'm one of the guys that I'm glad they don't make new music because after hearing Iron Maiden's newest stuff, I wish they weren't making new music and just stick to the old stuff. I just don't like, but that's what we're mad about today. Yeah. Is now that's what we're okay. Cool. That's excellent.
On a side note, what do you think of Metallica's new stuff?
It's Metallica new stuff.
Okay.
Like I've only heard the one song. I haven't went out of my way. Yeah, I just heard the one song. It was. What about you? What do you think about it?
It was all right. I didn't have a particularly, outward emotional feeling about it. I thought, yeah, it's Metallica.
Yeah,
all right,
pretty much. That was me. It was like, it's a shame because their music was really influential as a teen for me, right? So that's when they say that's when your musical influences are going to shape the rest of your life, and that's where I kind of stopped with Metallica, like being like excited for it. Like, okay, there's new Metallica, man. And maybe subconsciously the whole $350 for nosebleed seat tickets at Commonwealth Stadium kind of went like, you guys are already multimillionaires. I mean, you could probably take over your own tickets and pay someone to do it, and maybe not charge fans an arm and a leg to go see you. Just thinking.
It's not always them when it comes to ticket prices.
But
Sometimes
that's
it's the
why I'm
venue.
saying, that's why I said if they could have their own ticket guys do. Okay, well, you said venue. I'm saying like Ticketmaster. You just cut Ticketmaster out, get rid of the third party, and have, you know, a corporation set up like Damage Inc. You could even call it, and have them sell your tickets. That way, fans aren't being gouged the way they're being gouged.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that Ticketmaster is in itself a gigantic monopoly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's no way around it at this point, I don't think.
No. So back to the conversation at hand. So I'd be interested to see their faces when they figure out, for some reason, like, oh wait, that's the original album cover. But I guarantee you right away they'd be like, well, they changed the rainbow. The rainbow went this way, and now it goes this way. And
yeah, pointing out little anomalies, just like guys like Wolfgang Halbig did with Sandy Hook. Why isn't that guy sued into the ground by the Sandy Hook families? Apparently, he settled with the families in 2021, but I almost don't believe that there's a gigantic outrage over the Pink Floyd 50th anniversary Dark Side of the Moon album cover. I almost don't believe it, because it's the internet. It's got to be drummed up and exaggerated. Maybe there are a bunch of trolls. It could be trolls.
Yes, and that could totally be what it is. But to take the time to do that is just wow. And it is just wow.
Yeah, it boggles the mind. It almost empties the mind of anything intelligently critical that could be levied.
Yeah, because I don't know if they. So
see, now we're getting dragged down into it because it's so stupid.
Well, yeah, because here's the thing. And I am a supporter of the community. So when I say this, it isn't, oh, see, it's the big fat white guy, blah, blah, blah. But they're a minority. They're a minority group of people in the grand scheme of things. So what would a band who's releasing a 50th anniversary album have to gain by trying to go after one certain demographic of people? Like, this is one of those situations that if you don't know who Pink Floyd Dark Side of the Moon, if you have not listened to it, and you're of any age, probably over the age of 35, there might be a good chance that you're not going to listen to it. I'm just saying, because I'm 42, and I know because my father was a huge Pink Floyd guy. So now I'm trying to think of guys. So, Reverend Ryan, how old will the Catlin boys be? How much younger are they than us? 10 years, are they? Maybe 8? So whatever the Catlin twins would be at, that would be the line where I'd be like, kind of like, all right, like, you might be getting away. So we'll say, so ones I know for sure, let's just say that they're 8 years younger than us. If I'm just taking a really rough guess.
Okay.
So that puts them at 34. 6 years younger? Okay, so let's say 6. So 34, 35-ish. So let's just say 35 then. Okay, so these kids are 7. Let's just go with 7 years. Okay, 35 years old. After that, I think you're kind of going to be going to the whole, they're not going to even know who Pink Floyd is anyways. And the only people who would purchase the vinyl would be like guys our age who are into vinyl. And maybe you will have the one. Maybe there are the odd kids that would surprise you and be like, oh yeah, I love Dark Side of the Moon. But the majority is that's not even the audience they're aiming. That's what I don't understand. Why, like, just something has a rainbow on it. Who cares?
Yeah.
Like, I guess what? I had a Bud Light that had the pride flag on it. Didn't taste like penis or anything. It tasted like a Bud Light. That was just in a rainbow can.
Are you sure? Maybe it was the whole vat was stirred by a big old penis.
Well, then it was a big, delicious penis because the beer tasted great.
Wow. You hate straight people. See, that's the argument. That's
Yes.
what that,
And that's
yeah.
but you're not wrong. That's what would happen. Oh, well, see, you just don't like straight people.
No logic. Logic by gone.
Yeah, but you're not wrong. It'd be like it's that what's his face there from Will Ferrell's buddy in all his movies there. That look when he
Chris Kattan.
no.
No? All right.
The other one from Talladega Nights. I mean, he was in Boogie Nights and
Oh, John C. Reilly.
yeah, like there's this meme I love where
Step
he's like got a confused look and his hair's all poofy. He's like, that's just like really? Like okay, like so now I hate this because I didn't like this. Like, can I just not like something? Like, man. Did you see the bubblegum pop that I got? The Roddy Piper one? I put it on Facebook.
Maybe.
Well, it's from They Live, and it's a Roddy Piper out of bubblegum soda. And I'm not even gonna drink it. It's just got a picture of him with his glasses on, holding the holding the shotgun in his hand. It's a quarter.
I know I'm slow on the draw, but I'm just drawing it out.
There we go. So, and now I gotta get a jar and I gotta get quarters.
Yeah, you're gonna do this next show.
I'm gonna forget again. Don't worry.
That's why when I set up for the show, I grabbed it and I set it out and I set it aside so that I could not see it.
See, but my problem wouldn't be that. My problem is just I don't go to the bank. I don't have cash on me.
You're being groomed for the cashless society.
The cash society. Like, I'm sorry. Like, but I quite like being able to double click my phone, look at it with my face, and then hold it near a machine and it pays my stuff. I like that for the next wrestling event, the tickets are on my phone. Yeah. Like, apparently, like, I didn't know this because I don't leave the country or anything, but all our medical cards and whatnot, they can be on my Apple Wallet.
Yeah, you can scan them and have a copy on your phone.
So convenient.
It is definitely convenient but then again, the problem is if you get robbed, being in another country, and that's entirely possible, you've lost pretty much everything.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, if I were to go to another country, I would have the physical copy back in my hotel room.
Yeah, and I say this because my last long distance trip was to Vegas, and the hotel I stayed in, which was really nice, the Monte Carlo, there was a safe inside the hall closet. Great. Loved it. Mm-hmm. So all my stuff went in there, all the important stuff. It was awesome.
Yeah, because then it resets every time someone else new comes in or whatnot.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But, yeah, I don't know. Again, in a world of turmoil and everything else going on these days, this is what we're worried about. An anniversary Pink Floyd disc. And maybe people did it, like, I don't know. Maybe someone did it on purpose to get a rise out of people. I don't know.
I would think that the band put in the time and said, yes, this is what we want, because bands do have input on that kind of thing.
Well, that is true too. That is very, very true. So, yeah. Yeah. So
I tend to think more and more nowadays that these little squabbles, and they are little squabbles in the grand scheme of things, they're simply something to pass the time and get clicks for the moment. That's all it is. In 5 years' time, either we won't care, or a reminder will pop up and say, hey, remember this stupid trash that everyone was talking about for a few minutes, and then we move on to the next stupid trash.
Yeah, like I wonder if I can think about the top of my head without looking anything up. Can you think of anything from 5 years ago that even mattered?
from January 2018. Nothing comes to mind about stupid trash that we were all momentarily so outraged about.
Yeah.
Not
Like
a thing.
nothing. Nothing.
That's all the news cycle for the most part seems to be in this day and age, is these little temporary incidences meant to get clicks, and then every once in a while there's something big, like a shooting, which I haven't heard of in the United States for a little while, or well, the ongoing war between Russia and Ukraine.
So
Which,
now that you say that, this might
yeah.
take up a little time now. No, I don't want to forget it
Ah.
again. So I'm going to probably get this wrong. And of course, I can't bring anything up on my computer to look at it.
So I've got the disclaimer.
Apparently, Mr. President Biden has been caught with some secret documents at his residence.
I think he took them home for whatever reason.
Okay. So Kevin Nash talked about this. You have to add that to the game every time I say Nash. He was like, well, the difference between Trump and Biden is like Trump had like 300, like a bunch more, and Biden didn't have as much. And that, to me, that's irrelevant, because if you have classified documents in an unsecure location, that's classified documents in an unsecured location, whether it's 1 or it's 300. It's the same thing. Now, the punishment that should follow should be more, of course, for the guy that has 300 pieces of this stuff at his house. But nonetheless, it should still be a point of contention. If the one party is that was, a lot of it was resting on Trump to bury him with this, the same has to be said with Biden, does it not? One would, when you look at it from kind of a Reader's Digest version, like, well, it's the same stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So why is it all right for one to do it and not the other? Aside from that's my guy, why is it different? Yeah.
It isn't. It's the one group saying, well, it's my guy, so it's not as bad, or you didn't take this little thing into account or that little thing, and then it just gets muddied from there. And it's just a bunch of mudslinging at the end of the day. Yes, and something was done wrong. I don't know if it's a felony. I don't know where it stands on the important list of American crimes committed by people in government, but I'm sure there's something that's going to happen because of it. Oh, we're going to take Biden down because of this. Yeah. Well, if the punishment fits the crime and that's what has to happen, fine.
Of course.
National defense plays a part of it as well.
Oh, most definitely. Most definitely.
Yeah.
But my thinking is and that's where, of course, your narrative is going to be skewed in the news, where Fox will be going, well, they had all this stuff and they won't say what it was.
Yeah.
Oh, they'll say it was classified material, right? Yeah. So it depends which way they feel like they want to spin it.
Yeah, and I don't, if the truth comes out right away about what exactly it is, great, it should be reported on. But sometimes it happens that it turns out months down the road, we find out what it was, and it wasn't that important or big a deal, and it doesn't get mentioned on page one, or it doesn't get mentioned by Fox News, or it's not, breaking news on CNN.
Yeah. Yep. I agree. I completely agree with you. So, but it's one of those things that when we were talking about when everything happened with Justin Trudeau on the blackface. Do I think he was being racist? Not at all. But if you're going to hold one party accountable for their actions, the other party needs to be held accountable for the same actions. You're creating a narrative with what you're spewing with your rhetoric, but then you need to be held to the same accountability that your rhetoric was being spewed about.
Yep.
That's where it Was he? Well, what was his name, Ryan? Do you know? I just want to...
Hilarious.
I'll have to look after, but I'm actually very interested in that. Ew. 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 Ugh.
I had heard something like that a few months ago.
What's that? That this guy got into collusion?
Or either him or someone else. Charles McGonigal. Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna just punch that in here quick so that way I don't lose it.
Prepare to drink for family drama.
What?
I love you.
I'm sure you do.
Wow. When you were saying the vows, I'm pretty sure you didn't envision that kind of interaction
Yeah,
in the
number
future.
one for love. Number one for love.
You're number 2.
Wow.
Double bird.
Don't you have traffic to plan or something? Go away. Name made me miss this guy's name.
Good.
Awesome.
Charles McGonigal. Now I'm McGarnagle. I'm trying to eat here.
Were we going to mention
Farmer
some?
had a counterintelligence of, oh, okay. Yep, aided in Russian something or something. Wow. Could be interesting. Okay, what were you saying? Sorry?
I was saying, were we going to mention something about the hockey player who is Russian Orthodox?
Oh, yes. Yes,
yeah.
I forgot about that. So, you go first. I always go first. You go first on your thoughts.
Unfortunately, I didn't pull the story. I saw the headline and I decided to go over to pathos.com, where the Friendly Atheist was headquartered for years and years, and look up what are some Russian Orthodox beliefs. It says nothing about LGBTQ. It's mostly differences between Western Christianity and Catholicism and Russian Orthodoxy, which is known as Eastern Orthodoxy. So nothing too groundbreaking, but on the particular topic of the guy, was it that
Provosicus or Provovicus or something?
yeah, it's a name like that.
Or yeah. Anyways, go ahead. Sorry.
Not supporting a group is not the same as hating a group, and I hope I'm being very clear with the way I'm saying that, because
You are.
I don't recall him ever saying, "I hate that group. I'm not going to support them." I think it was something along the lines of his religion does not support that lifestyle or group. But I don't think he himself used the word hate. So these other people who are saying he hates them because he doesn't support them, stop levying unsubstantiated charges and putting words in his mouth when he did not use the word hate.
I find it. Are you done? Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to think how to say this without, because I always have to say this first. A friend of the movement. I am. We're in a world where we're supposed to be able to free to choose what we want to do. In a world where I think most people, well, it's hard to say these days, but a lot of people believe women have the right to, because it's their body. I support that. I support that people should have the right to bear arms, depending on the gun. See, I vary on that. I agree that you can be pro-life, but be that with your own life too. That's your life. You decide what you want to do with your life. You decide when you want to check out. You should also be free, and I do not, because I've made it very clear in here what I think about religion. Very clear. But it is his right to express his opinion and views. He didn't do it maliciously. He didn't go on a tirade and go out in a plain jersey. He just didn't participate in warm up. Why is it seem in this world that if you don't agree with and it's both sides, it's both left and right. You don't agree with what I believe in. Here's the Reader's Digest version of it. You don't believe what I believe in. You're a piece of poop, and your opinion doesn't matter. That is the Reader's Digest version. And I don't understand in this world why we just can't have different things. I had a disagreement with Jagger yesterday, a big one. And guess what? I'm still his friend. It's like adults should be able to have disagreements and not agree on things and then move past it. He doesn't like that's the thing. I don't understand why people and it goes like, oh, he needs to be fired and he needs to be let go. And so the guy, his life needs to be ruined because he doesn't agree with you. He didn't say that he hopes that all homosexuals die. He doesn't wait, like none of that. Save that for those assholes in that church that God hates fags people. Save that for them. Save that hate for them. This guy, again, if you have, this is the problems that they run with these stories, and but it's already done. It's the story. See, but that's the thing now. If you hadn't talked about it now, the story's already done. It's over. That's like you said, the news cycle. It's already moved on. Nobody cares anymore.
Yeah.
But what is stunning is if it's true. Again, I didn't do any research. Bro, silence. Taking the bottom, the scrolling thing. Apparently, they sold out of his jersey. People buying his jersey in support of him because what he decided to do. But that's people's rights too. If it's people's rights to buy the shirts from Spencer's that say One Love and all that stuff on it, then guess what? It is also other people's rights to support people who don't agree with your lifestyle. I'm not saying it's right. I'm absolutely not. Like, it should not matter what people do. We've made it very clear in the years I've been doing podcasts and YouTube shows. It is not my business what you do in your house. I don't care who you love. If you get married, you should be allowed to be as miserable as the rest of us, as the joke always goes. Go ahead and do it. Okay? I will say this, though. When it comes to the LGBTQ1 plus, I'm sorry, it's just so many. I don't like fuck it up. But this coming out, they came out as gay. They came out as this. Okay, why? And we want to make it, and they always quit. We want equality. We want to be the same as you. Well, I don't. No, I'm just saying me. But like when a gentleman starts dating a woman, does he come out and say, "Oh, I'm straight, by the way"? No. Like, if you want it to be normalized, then stop announcing. I'm just saying to stop announcing it. Just be like, because I guarantee you it would be like if you came out with another person, like if a female and a female or a male and a male, like, oh, okay, well, that's their partner. I don't understand the announcing it to the world. Depends on your publicist. I guess, right? No.
I laughed for a moment because I thought of speed dating. You ever seen that in a movie?
Yeah.
Yeah. So imagine someone's wearing a name tag that says "Hi, I'm," and they wrote the word "straight" on it.
Yeah. And
instead of their name.
And I can already hear there. Well, you don't know because you haven't had to live it, and yeah, it's easy for you to stay because you're a straight guy. We want to normalize it, and I want to normalize it. I wish that people that I've known that were closeted homosexuals could have came out and not be scared of being persecuted. Right?
Ooh, by Perez Hilton. Holy shit.
Who's Neil Patrick Harris.
Yeah.
But then that's the other thing though too. Like, so Perez Hilton, he's a piece of shit.
Yeah, he's pretty trashy.
Order.
Yeah.
I said okay. Because so you aired out his dirty laundry for what? For clicks to your stupid website.
Yeah.
Again, and now maybe I can hear him say, well, I'm a homosexual man and I don't like closeted, it's like the whole Joe Rogan thing with steroids. I use steroids, but you should be admitting that you use steroids. Right? It's the same thing. Like Perez Hilton is a very openly gay person. And it's like, what, were you jealous because this guy hadn't come out as out of the closet yet? So you had to bury him? Like, and you had to out him? Like, I don't understand it.
Then again, because the LGBTQIAS plus community has been so ostracized and oppressed for years and years and years up until recently, but it still happens,
It's still
especially
happening.
in puritanical America. It's a kind of celebration when someone comes out as gay or whatever they choose to come out as,
Mhm.
and it's also a chance for other people to say, we support you, we're here with you, we love you, you don't have to be afraid, as they did have to be afraid in, say, the 1970s or 60s or maybe even the
Mhm.
80s or
Yeah.
90s.
Yeah.
The Velma show,
I've heard a bit. I just heard that I heard it sucked.
yeah, I heard it
I get-
sucked
I
too.
heard it sucked. Other than that, I haven't heard anything else. I heard that she came out of the closet. They made her a gay character.
Okay.
But all right, like I don't. But that's what I don't under me. And again, me. Okay, I guess that's you're empowering people. I guess. But I guess you can look at I'm okay. Well, I'll look at it both ways. Okay, I understand. I guess you're giving more power to the people, like to feel confident. Like okay, this like the Stranger Things guy came out of the closet. One of the actors from there. It's like
Okay.
okay, and it's like okay, so you feel more power because he did this, but it's like at the same time, if he just came out with but the news blows it up. So I mean, it's a vicious cycle.
Yeah.
You know, so a lot of the problem does become it's like it is a news and society, and it's not just the bigots that hate homosexuals for an odd reason, but it's also
Let them hate on men. Who cares? We can take it. We're men. We're not so sissified that we can't take some hate. Come on.
yeah, we definitely have the broad shoulders for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I whenever it comes to this kind of man hating stuff, I could listen to Bill Burr rant about women forever. Oh, he nails it so well. He does. He says what we. That's why I love comedians. You know, and I say it all the time because they can say what we can't. A lot of them can, and we all think it, but we can't say it.
Yeah, because we're not funny enough to couch it in some hilarious anecdote like they can. Because
Mhm.
some comedians are really good storytellers. Some are
Yes.
great
Yeah.
one-liners.
Yep. And okay, so get ready to drink because like Jim Jeffries, he talks about Bill Cosby. And when he's talking about he talks about rape and what Bill Cosby did. And it is funny because it's the way he delivers the material.
Hmm.
Because his next joke, he goes on because he says you can't joke about rape, and he goes, ah, right? Like he makes a face, makes a sound. And he's explaining how when a woman in Sydney heard his bit, all she did was transcribe what he wrote. And if you were just to read his material, you're going, oh my God. Like this guy thinks rape is okay, but it's not in the context of how he's saying it in delivery and whatnot.
Yeah.
Right? And on that note, in the immortal words of Al Bundy, let's wrap her up.
Even though the video is kind of choppy, I am going to play something that when the Daily Show was happening with Jon Stewart back in the day, they would have a moment of zen at the end of the show, and I am going to share that with our people here. Once I find it, wherever the hell I put it. Yep. I'll find it. Okay, so if it's choppy, I apologize. I don't know what the hell is going on. But we'll see what happens. It's only about 30 seconds. So here we go.
Yeah, thanks, Dick. That looked amazing.
Yes, it did. And I want to shout out the channel that this came from. I'll pull it up here momentarily. Once it finishes loading, it shouldn't take all that long, but ghetto internet connection, I guess.
In a ghetto.
All right, so this is where it comes from. Zach Choi ASMR. This one was called Deep Fried Bacon Wrapped Cheese. Now, if the video was choppy, I apologize, but you can find Zach Choi ASMR, and this guy does a lot of short videos exactly like this. His setup is great. His camera, his sound, excellent. I definitely recommend anyone who likes ASMR and food, go to this channel. He does a lot of stuff, as you can see.
Yeah, no doubt. Wow.
Yes.
Excellent.
So
Yeah,
that was
good.
our moment of Zen. And with that, I thank you. I don't know about Nick, but I'm going to say it for him as well.
Every time, guys, because especially you, Ryan, because you're here from beginning to the end. And
Yes. Thank you.
yeah, we appreciate everybody. And yeah, that's so what Dad just said there, that Mom made him very tasty apple crumble and had it with ice cream. When one of the first snowstorms we had, my neighbor's walkway blew in big time. And I just happened to go shoveling, so I shoveled their walkway too. It was quite the job. And yeah, the next day, knock on the door, and I go over there, and his wife had made me a fresh apple crumble, like fresh. Yeah, delicious.
Yes.
And now I need to go have some yogurt for some probiotics.
So thanks to not only Redneck, but Dad and Big Red for showing up. Anyone else who showed up on our Facebook pages for a few minutes and took off, well, thanks for the temporary view count. We really appreciate it. I noticed that since the beginning of this year, our numbers haven't been what they used to be. Maybe people are busy. Well, things happen. Haven't seen Frank or Casey in a while, as well as Hanama, Overseer, Penny, Trish, Jen, Corey and Trevor, the other Trevor G, Jolene, Freak Nasty, Gordon, Brody. Well, Brody's off of social media pretty much for the most part. And even though I'm not a fan of sports, I do eagerly await the return of his channel, which I've forgotten the name of, but it's
Action
in our
Sports or Butt Blaster Sports with Brody.
Let's go with Butt Blaster Sports.
Blackbuster Brody with sports.
And a shout out to Gareth. And I'm going to recommend a song from back in the day. I didn't first hear this song when I watched this TV miniseries, but it's ingrained in my brain because of this TV miniseries. From Crowded House, Don't Dream It's Over.
Great song.
And I first heard that when the 4-part miniseries The Stand was released in 1994 on TV. Great. Love it.
Okay, so if you go on YouTube, there's actually a pretty decent cover with Eddie Vedder and Chris Martin doing it.
Ooh.
Chris Martin butchers the lyrics, messes it up, but Eddie Vedder's is, I like Eddie's part. I'm gonna add a song, and hopefully, I don't know if Ryan's heard this yet. I know he's still here, because I know he's a big Journey fan. Daughtry and Lizzie Hale from Hailstorm collaborated on a cover of a Journey song, and they covered Separate Ways, and I really enjoy the cover. So yeah, Separate Ways, Worlds Apart, featuring Lizzie Hale of Hailstorm by Daughtry.
Nice.
So so there's a song. Oh, another one. I was just listening to it and it made me smile. It was off one of the big shiny tunes. I can't remember which one, but Angry Johnny by Poe.
Oh, I think that was the first one.
Angry Johnny.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, oh, I caught myself before I swore. But yeah, I was just listening to it before, on my way home from the gym. I'm like, oh, I quite enjoyed that song.
I think that was from the first Big Shiny Tune.
Was it the first one?
I think so.
So how did I do?
$1.50 today.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, it's all right.
That's pretty good.
I think last show we were at $1.75, so you're doing okay.
Nice. I'm trending the right way.
Wish we were trending the right way. I think that's, I know I don't want to go this way with the show where you have to be controversial and say controversial things just to get views. I don't want to do that, and I'm
No.
not going to go down that avenue.
And I'll be honest with you, I really like my job. I like coming and talking with you, and like even if it's just Ryan, I like, and Dad pops in and out. I really like my job, and I don't want to jeopardize it, so I don't want to say anything too stupid that might get my ass fired. So
Yeah, that's the thing. Not to stay middle of the road as being safe, but being middle of the road because that's how we think. And if we're boring because of that, well, so be it. We're just two Canadian 40-somethings talking about whatever we want. No one forced anyone to come
yeah, boy.
here. Yeah. We'll be back next Monday. Thank you all very much.
Bye, guys.